There have been some major threats to the United States dollar global dominance over the last several years. And here on this channel, we've really talked about the geopolitical shifts, the political instability, and the rise of the BRICS nations, all putting simultaneous pressure on the dollar. But today, we're going to unpack the biggest threat of all, and that's the U.S. national debt. Right now, the United States has officially hit $39 trillion in debt. And I spoke to Congressman Thomas Massie. He said this is unsustainable. We are barreling towards bankruptcy. And that, by the way, that number is growing fast. And Massie even wears a little chest plate that has the national debt in a little LED light up thing on his chest. It's crazy. Even the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, is warning the current path is unsustainable. In fact, he's even been more direct behind the scenes. The debt is growing faster than the economy. And that, by simple definition, cannot continue indefinitely. Historically, this can't end well. And I'm not just talking about things like recession or inflation. It ends with a currency's destruction every single time. Think of like Zimbabwe. Yeah, that's where the US dollar is headed. Now you might think I'm being a sensationalist, or you might argue that the US has always carried debt, and that's true. I mean, at least for the past 126 years. But since the pandemic, the pace of that debt has exploded. You can't argue that. And the amount of interest on that debt is worsening, so much so that it now exceeds our military budget in a year. All of this has become incredibly normalized. In fact, there are a lot of Americans who don't even think twice about the national debt because we've become so numb to it. But finally, that's starting to change. A 2026 national survey by the National Taxpayers Union found that 88% of registered voters believe the national debt will eventually have an impact on them or their families. Of course it will. And as the national debt grows at such an alarming rate, more and more Americans are realizing that the issue has gotten massively out of hand. This increasing debt has led to lower purchasing power, also excessive credit card debt for many Americans who felt the effects of inflationary powers, a devalued dollar. Mounting national debt could compromise programs like Medicare, erode global confidence in the US dollar, and continue to challenge the economy's growth. I mean, without addressing the unchecked spending, the U.S. is on the brink of a financial disaster right now. It's important to realize that when you see rising costs of groceries, energy, housing, that this is part of a direct result of how much money the government is carelessly spending and printing on repeat. Again, the U.S. national debt right now has exploded past $39 trillion, and it's accelerating. I mean, I remember in high school, my teacher, Mr. Vogt, back in the 90s, talking about the national debt, and we were stunned that it was like close to $1 trillion or maybe just past $1 trillion. High school, now it's $39 trillion. We are adding debt so fast it's measured in millions of dollars per minute. We'll dig into that more in a minute, but first, I have a question for you. Could your financial advisor provide a plan to fully replace your income in the next 10 years without charging you for it? I'm going to say probably not. Now, if you trust the system and you want someone else to do all your thinking and planning, a financial advisor can absolutely help you with that. But if you want to actually build real independent wealth that's immune to the influence of Washington, Wall Street, and the latest headlines, you've got to take matters into your own hands. That's what Natalie and I did years ago, and we were able to break free from paycheck dependency in fewer than 5 years. That's right, we used buy and hold real estate to do it. And you can start earning monthly passive income through real estate investing as well. Now, if you're like us, you probably don't have a lot of time to do all the legwork involved with getting a good investment property. And that's where our partner, Sedera Wealth, can help. They've got over 20 years experience helping investors of all levels reach financial freedom through real estate investing. And their help is 100% free. They make their money buying and building properties in bulk so they can actually pass on the savings. And whether you want to maximize your retirement funds, increase your tax savings, or replace your current income entirely, they can help. They can also connect you to countless helpful resources. Sedera Wealth's proven strategy focuses on increasing your net worth year after year. Most people need just 5 or 6 properties to replace their annual income, and many do it in just 10 years or less. So if this resonates with you, don't just think about it. Take action now by going to redacted.inc/wealth. It's redacted.inc, not .com, redacted.inc/wealth, and book a free call with the Sedera Wealth team. And when you're done, you can come back and finish this video knowing that you've taken a significant step in bettering your financial future. So now, assuming that you've done all that, let's get back to it. But here's the key metric that actually matters. debt relative to the economy, because if your income grows faster than your debt, technically you're fine, or at least not on the path to destruction. It's kind of like a Ponzi scheme. But when your debt grows faster than your income, suddenly you're in trouble. The whole house of cards comes tumbling down. And that's exactly where we're standing today. As Powell explained, debt is growing faster than the economy. That is unsustainable. It's just simple math. Now here's where things get really dangerous. Once debt reaches a certain level, it starts feeding on itself, creating what economists call a debt spiral. And here's how it works. The government borrows more money, more interest payments on that debt increase. This forces even more borrowing, which increases the interest even further. And they will never pull back on this spending in Washington. Now, I know Elon Musk says that AI and robotics could be the only thing that saves us. I don't see how, but he seems to know. We'll see. We're going to put all our stock in AI and robotics. Okay. Eventually, everything will become so cheap, we'll push all of the cost burdens down, and so that's how it will save us. Do you believe that? So eventually, interest payments become one of the largest line items in the entire federal budget. So as it stands today, interest on the U.S. national debt is projected to reach $1 trillion this year, later this year, by like December, November, and over $2 trillion in the next decade. So it gets worse. The Congressional Budget Office warns that within the next decade, interest rate growth could exceed economic growth. And when that happens, that's when a true debt spiral begins. So what happens when a country can't realistically pay back its debt? Most proposed solutions to the national debt problem are not popular at all. And it's not surprising that the two-party system cannot agree on any solutions because both parties are responsible for this issue. The uniparty. There are really only three options. You raise taxes, which is politically difficult. You cut spending, also politically difficult, never going to happen. Or number three, the thing that they love to do the most is print money. So that's what the Fed does. Historically, which button do you think politicians always choose? That's right. That's why they created the Fed back in 1913, to print money and keep us in perpetual wars. Because if you don't need to rely on us, the taxpayers, for your wars, then the Fed can just print all the money it wants and fund all of those boondoggles and all of those wars. It's the least visible option to the American people and the most short term, but it's also the most destructive. When money is printed to fund debt, the currency gets diluted, purchasing power plummets, and then inflation rises. And when this happens repeatedly, like we've seen over the past several decades, the dollar loses value. And what makes this particularly troubling for the United States is the fact that the dollar is the world's reserve currency. That means the global trade runs on US dollars. Other countries buy our debt. Japan, one of the largest of our debt holders, they own so many treasury bonds. China's been dumping them left and right, but Japan still holds on to them. And the demand for dollars remains typically high because of that. But here's the problem. That system only works if the world trusts the dollar. And that trust is based on one thing: fiscal responsibility. So when deficits are running near $2 trillion per year, the trust obviously starts to crack. So, and then you look at the BRICS nations, China and Russia are now backing their BRICS currencies with a form of a gold standard. So at least in part, the Chinese yuan, the Russian ruble, attached to a gold standard, backed by something real. The United States dollar is not backed by anything. So given that the debt is growing faster than the economy and the political solutions are unlikely, it becomes clear the end game is currency devaluation. And like I've been saying for years, this doesn't happen overnight. It's not a sudden collapse, happens tomorrow, or you wake up and it's done. What we're witnessing is a slow erosion of the dollar's purchasing power and status. This is how most debt crises end. Think fall of the Roman Empire. An overextended empire with massive debt. Doesn't happen overnight. And listen, there are a lot of credible voices sounding this alarm bell. It's not just me. It's not just Jerome Powell. Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan, he's predicting the Americans' debt problem is going to lead to more volatile markets, higher interest rates, and a sharp decrease in demand for U.S. treasuries. And former Fed Chair Janet Yellen directly warned earlier this year that rising national debt levels would lead to fiscal dominance, meaning the central bank could lose its ability to change interest rates in order to keep debt payments under control. And then you had friend of the show, Senator Rand Paul. He said, quote, "Our threat is not from foreign countries invading the U.S. Our threat is from the destruction of our dollar. Our threat is from debt." So what does all this actually mean for everyday Americans? Well, unfortunately, it means the cost of living continues to rise, our savings lose value over time, and the price of assets becomes more volatile. And most importantly, the entire system becomes more fragile. Because once confidence in a currency starts to go, it goes fast. Look, this doesn't mean the dollar disappears tomorrow, but it does mean that we're on a path that even the Federal Reserve has admitted will not end well if nothing changes. So the real question isn't if this matters, it's are you positioned for what comes next? The best way to protect yourself from the collapse of the US dollar is by investing in assets that are not tied to the value of the dollar. Specifically, I'm talking about real estate and precious metals like gold and silver. These are stable assets that are not dictated by what's happening on Wall Street or the global economy. Now is not the time to be complacent, but instead to take control of your finances, build financial independence, protect your wealth from the devaluing dollar. I mean, America is on the brink of financial disaster. And if you want to create security, it's important to stay educated on this issue. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic, including your predictions, what you're preparing for the inevitable and the inevitable fall of the US dollar. What do you think of the next steps in this national debt crisis? Do you think there are any real solutions? Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video.